So back to our example of learning about Bootstrap and the customization. The interesting thing about Bootstrap is that in as much as it gives you so many CSS classes, it's also possible to use Bootstrap just for certain parts like the styling and the measurement of the grid without you actually using every part of Bootstrap. So for example, if you are interested in customizing certain colors of Bootstrap, let me go back to this. Let me add the Bootstrap back into our file. Let me add the Bootstrap back into our file. Let me add the Jumbotron and also let me remove this
See,
part.
where are you getting these classes from? This Jumbotron.
It's part of the Bootstrap class.
See, now I don't know this stuff.
No, it's not something that you learn off the top of your head, to be honest, because even I myself, I don't know all the Bootstrap classes, but let me show you an example of.
How do I find the Bootstrap classes?
You go to their website. Actually, I should have done this much sooner. That's actually a very good point. So, in terms of Bootstrap, this is, if you're to go under the Bootstrap website, you click on documentation. You have different categories. So let me go to layout. Bare Bootstrap, you're just trying to start from scratch. The one thing, remember the container class I was telling you about? This is the effect of what it does. It actually puts things into certain groups together. So for example, this container is a class in Bootstrap. And if you're to go to the bootstrap.css and you click and you search for it, that is the container class. And
How do you just search for it?
you click Control F. Control F. Yeah, Control F.
Search the console?
No, Control F. It's a way of you searching for different. It makes it easy for you to search for keywords in different documents. It could be in a file, it can be in any editor in mind.
So it's like an additional library, like when you type in a certain words in the code, the program automatically fills it in. Bootstrap gives an additional library to fill in the code.
How so? Like, what do you mean? Like, for example, Bootstrap has different, actually, yes, you're right. Bootstrap has different CSS classes, as I mentioned. These are all Bootstrap classes, right?
Yeah.
So for example, if you're trying to use the container for grouping your codes into different, what's the term I'm looking for, parts, you can actually just use container. Like container is a way of you grouping a part of your code into one part that can be cleaned together. Let me give you an example. So So right now I'm actually creating multiple containers. Let me give this light blue. Actually no. Light. What color is light red? Okay. And let's see, I didn't spell the container right. container 2 dot color. Let me say light pink. So let me show you an example of what I'm trying to do. Here you have container. You have let me see, did I? So right now I have 2 containers that I'm actually creating now, that I've actually created. Container 1 and container 2. Actually, no. So based off of, I just created 2 containers here. I created, let me delete this just so you can see. This, actually this helps to modify your code. Let me see. Also helps to clean your code so that it's easy to read and understand. So right now, you guys know this is a div that is container 1. This is another div that's container 2. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you're to refresh this page, you see container 1 and you see container 2. So the point of a container is for you to group things into different blocks so that you can actually encapsulate, so that you can actually modify one container without affecting the other container.
Okay.
So let me give you an example of a container. Let me go to Airbnb. I mean, I don't know if they're using the exact same bootstrap, but in Airbnb, this part is one container. This part is another container.
That whole part is from.
Yeah, but this whole part is probably one container, but
And then there should be little divs within each container.
exactly. And this is probably one container. However, this is one row, and this is another row.
And that concept would be with the table, right?
You can use a table, but I'm going to show you how to do this with Bootstrap. You can make that a table if you wanted to, but for flexibility, I'll show you how to do this with just CSS and divs.
Okay.
Because with divs, you have more flexibility as opposed to a table.
Are you gonna use Flexbox?
You can use Flexbox. Bootstrap actually, there's a you can use Flexbox if you wanted to, but right now I'm just sticking to Bootstrap so I don't confuse everyone. But you can easily do this with
Flexbox is
Flexbox.
not, I thought Flexbox was general, that's why I said it, I thought it was a general thing.
It's actually a new update to CSS,
Okay.
but Bootstrap already had something similar before it became popular. Before it became updated, because one thing is that with the web, there's always new updates being made. So there's a good chance that certain things that you might see in the future as being, oh, this is part of the web standard. 5 years ago, it wasn't the case.
Right.
Like it was just added to the whole web standard. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But you're right, I can actually use Flexbox to do this, but right now I'm just using Bootstrap, which is something similar.
Flexbox still requires divs though, right? It still requires you to have divs and containers.
Yeah, but with Flexbox, you have to add a class, right?
Yeah.
And Bootstrap has classes that do the same thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So right now we already have so yeah, back to your question in terms of like the container. Back to your question in terms of what Bootstrap does, and you were asking me you don't know where you got. I added this part, the Jumbotron, and you told me you don't know where you got Jumbotron, where I got Jumbotron from. So if you're to go to the Bootstrap documentation and click on, where was it again? I think it's under the contents. Let me see. I can actually search. I'm just trying to break this down. So actually, let me just search. Yeah, okay, it's under components. So if you're to go, let me go under documentation. You click on the components, and if you go to this Jumbotron, yeah, click on this, the Jumbotron. It shows you how it looks, which is similar to what we have here, and it also shows you how to use it. So for example,
So we're at the desktop where it says hello world, remember that's how it would look?
On the no, this right here, this is the HTML,
Okay.
and this is how it looks.
Okay.
You following?
Yeah.
That makes sense? Okay. Well, that's a good question, but like do it like this, that you see all these parts on the left, all these, everything here from the components to the extend to the migration to the block to the content and layout. All these are CSS classes in Bootstrap. All you have to do is just make sure that you're actually it just makes it helps for you to reference these if you're just trying to figure out what you're trying to do. Like for example, in Bootstrap, if you want to have a carousel, you go under Bootstrap, you go under components, you click on the carousel, which is here. You see how it works. It's a slideshow for cycling through a series of content built with CSS, 3D transforms, and a bit of JavaScript. So you scroll down, and if you go under here, it shows you the HTML. And if you're trying to create like a slide, it also shows you how to add the slide. And this is an example. See the first slide,
Yeah.
you see the second slide, you see the third slide, you see the fourth. I guess the only 3 slides. But do it like this, that with Bootstrap, it makes it easy for you to actually reuse CSS classes without you building from scratch.
Okay.
You following? Huh?
So you can add, I never added it to the visual code because I never do visual. Bootstrap for fonts.
I have to download Bootstrap in order to use it, right?
Yes. You can either download it or you can reference it in the link, with the link. But the thing is that with the link, you have to be connected to the internet.
Okay.
So it's better to download it to the file.
Yes, just so you can use it however you want.
Okay, it didn't let me download.
Yeah, me neither. You have a unicorn initiative?
No, I did something else. It took me to GitHub.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Look, when you try to download it, this unicorn thing comes up. Look, see?
It doesn't come up on mine. Sorry, give me a second. So let me see, check something.
They sent me to github.com.
So you get to, this is the Bootstrap page, right? You click download, it goes down to the compiled CS and JavaScript, it goes down to source files, you click download again, it doesn't download?
Okay, I got the source file. I was clicking the first one, compiled CSS and JavaScript.
Which one do you click? The one in the middle? Source code?
Interesting.
I clicked the
It's actually
compiled
broken,
one
I did
and
not
it didn't
know
work.
Oh, alright, same thing.
that. It works now?
No.
I clicked the middle one, click the middle one and down.
This one, under source files. The first one isn't working, that's interesting.
And then once you do that, how do I get it?
So let me redo that again. So once you click on download, you see this folder? You go to show in folder. Then from here, you extract it because it's a zip. A zip just means that it's compressed. So what you do is that you extract it all to Bootstrap, and the name of the folder is, I already have a Bootstrap folder. Actually, let me just delete it so it's easier to follow clearly. So you go to this Bootstrap, you extract everything to this folder, and you have this.
Okay, I didn't do that.
So after you unzip it,
This is what I got when I clicked on it. It just came up like that.
let me see.
And then I clicked on
To extract all. Yeah. And you can click on extract. Then I'll come to you in a second.
Okay.
So that gives us can I click on that? actually a quick way to find it.
I mean, the CSS thing is there.
No, I know, but it's not the exact next to one with mine. This is supposed to. This is different from the Sorry, give me a second. Devon, can you download it on your machine?
I'm trying to, but my browser does not look like yours at all. I'm at getbootstrap.com. Is that the right one?
Yes.
So it's bootstrap.com or getbootstrap.com?
Getbootstrap.com.
Okay, I'm in the right one. And then the right hand corner, press download, right?
Yes. Wait, let me come to you. Sorry. I'll be right back. Let me check something first as well.
But it's on this, or this, or this.
Oh, yeah, different version. Click on get on Strap Voice. Yeah, click on that. Yeah, now click on download. See, now I'm on the same version. We have different versions, so they just have to click on the screen and click on download source code.
Well, I got it to come on visual code.
Yeah, but there's a different source file. Let me actually email you the bootstrap and CSS.
Awesome.
Let me email you the file. There's something wrong with probably the restriction of the type, but I don't know why. I mean, and I don't want to spend too much time on that, so that's the point of. So you click on. Seems interesting. I guess mine is just the cache. So you click show in folder, you extract all to bootstrap, extract. I think the network here is having some restrictions with the with what you can and can't download. Interesting, now I'm getting this. There must be something wrong with internet connection, but I'm going to email you the CSS and the JavaScript folder.
Okay.
And let me